Listen up, Dawg Pound, because the energy in Cleveland just hit a whole new level of crazy today, and you won't believe what's happening at Berea right now. We are talking about a total foundation shift that could change the face of this franchise for the next decade. If you bleed brown and orange, you need to stay locked in because the news we have today is absolutely massive and involves the most important position on the field. Before we dive into this bombshell update, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now and turn on those notifications. You do not want to be the last one to know what's going on with our team. Join the family and let's ride together. Deshaun Watson is at the center of a total firestorm after new head coach Todd Monken dropped a wild admission that has the entire NFL talking today. Monken straight up confessed at the AFC coaches' breakfast that he hasn't really watched much past film of his supposed starting quarterback, and that is sending shockwaves through the city. While everyone assumed the battle was just between Watson and the newcomer Shedeur Sanders, it turns out the door is wide open for a total takeover. General Manager Andrew Berry is already hinting at bringing in even more competition, and the team is hosting Alabama prospect Ty Simpson for a visit, which means nobody is safe in that room. Monken was asked point blank why he wouldn't watch the prior film as he decides how to divide the reps this spring, and his answer was colder than a lakefront breeze in January. He mentioned seeing him play against Baltimore but dismissed recent film like the Dallas game as essentially useless for his evaluation. This isn't just a minor tweak to the depth chart, it's a full-blown identity crisis for the offense. Has the coaching staff already seen enough to know they might need a completely different direction? Or is this just Monken's way of starting with a totally blank slate for everyone involved? The tension is rising, because while some players are already grinding at the facility, others are conspicuously absent during these early stages. Something much bigger is brewing behind closed doors, and the power dynamic in Cleveland is shifting faster than anyone expected. The situation becomes even more complex when you realize that Todd Monken is still trying to catch up on the roster he inherited while balancing the hype of young stars like Sanders and Dillon Gabriel. Gabriel is coming off a rookie year that had people excited, but Monken revealed that while Sanders has been a constant presence at the team facilities, during the early offseason Gabriel hasn't been there as much. This contrast in dedication is starting to draw lines in the sand before the pads even come on for April 7th. Historically, the Browns have been a quarterback carousel, but the massive trade and contract for Watson was supposed to end that cycle for good. Now even the owner Jimmy Haslam is weighing in with some brutally honest words about how that deal has played out so far. Looking back at the blockbuster trade, it was a move that was meant to be a dynasty-building moment but has felt more like a massive hurdle lately. Monken's history as a play caller in Baltimore and Georgia suggests he wants a specific type of processor and athlete, and his refusal to dwell on Watson's past performances indicates he might be looking for something the veteran hasn't shown in a Browns uniform yet. The front office is clearly feeling the heat because Andrew Berry isn't just looking at the draft. He is explicitly stating that a newcomer competing for the starting job is entirely realistic. This isn't just about depth anymore, it is about finding a savior for a franchise that is tired of waiting. We've seen this team take big swings before, but this feels like the coaching staff is preparing to pivot if the home run doesn't land soon. The locker room atmosphere is likely intense as these young guns like Ty Simpson come through the building for visits, while the veterans are trying to prove they still belong. It's a high-stakes game of musical chairs where the music is about to stop, and the person left standing might be someone nobody saw coming 2 months ago. When you look at the raw reality of the situation, the numbers tell a story of a team that cannot afford another swing and miss at the quarterback position. Jimmy Haslam admitted that while they viewed the initial move as a potential home run, it has actually functioned as a strikeout so far in terms of production and consistency. That is a heavy statement coming from the man who signs the checks, and it puts an immense amount of pressure on Monken to get it right this time around. The scenario where a rookie or a young addition like Ty Simpson or Shedeur Sanders takes the reins isn't just a fan theory anymore, it is a strategic possibility being discussed by the general manager. If the Browns decide to go young, the financial implications are massive, but the on-field potential with a talent like Sanders, who is already showing elite dedication, could be the spark this city has been begging for. On the other hand, you have the veteran presence of Watson, who Haslam claims has been in Cleveland most of the winter working out and showing a renewed commitment to the craft. Haslam saw him working out early just a few weeks ago and believes that dedication says a lot about his desire to win. So we have two distinct paths forming here. Path 1 is the redemption arc where Watson finally clicks with Monken's system and justifies that massive contract by becoming the top-tier playmaker he was in Houston. Path 2 is the youth movement where the Browns lean into the draft and the energy of players like Sanders or Gabriel to lead a new era. And don't forget the third scenario where Barry brings in a wild card through a trade or another draft pick that flips the script entirely. The scouting department is clearly working overtime if they are bringing in Simpson for a top 30 visit. This suggests they aren't just looking for a backup, they are looking for a contender. If Monken really hasn't watched the old tape, it means he is evaluating these guys solely on what they do starting April 7th. That puts everyone on a level playing field, which is terrifying for a veteran and exhilarating for a young prospect. The competition is going to be fierce, and every single rep in practice is going to be scrutinized by a coaching staff that has zero loyalty to the past failures of this offense. In my expert insider opinion, the fact that Monken isn't grinding Watson's old film is a massive red flag for the veteran's security as the guaranteed starter. It sounds like the coach wants to see the guy who shows up in April, not the guy who played in Dallas 2 years ago, and that is the right move for a winning culture. If Watson can't outperform these hungry young kids like Sanders and Gabriel, then the Browns have to be brave enough to pull the plug and move on. The dedication Haslam mentioned is great, but at the end of the day, this is a results business, and we need touchdowns, not just early morning workout sightings. I think we are looking at a genuine open competition where the best man truly wins, and for the first time in a long, while the front office seems ready to admit their past mistakes to fix the future. This team is built to win now with a championship-caliber defense, and they can't let the quarterback position hold them back any longer. It's time to stop talking about potential home runs and start actually hitting them out of the park. This offseason is going to be a roller coaster, and you better believe we will be here for every single update. The Dawg Pound deserves a winner, and it feels like the hard conversations are finally happening in the front office. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments right now. Do you think Todd Monken is right to ignore Deshaun Watson's old film and start fresh, or is that a sign of disrespect to our highly paid QB? And who do you want to see under center in Week 1? Is it the veteran Watson, the young star Sanders, or a draft surprise like Ty Simpson? Drop your thoughts below because I read every single one of them. Don't forget to like this video and share it with every Browns fan you know. Let's get the conversation started, and as always, go Browns.